You won't believe what's happening inside the Trump administration right now. Top federal prosecutors, some of the most dedicated in the country, are quitting, disappearing from the Department of Justice at an alarming rate. And here's the twist. They're being replaced by anyone willing to do whatever the regime demands. No questions asked. What does this mean for the future of justice in America? Stick with me because you won't want to miss what's coming next. We've seen this before, right? When power shifts, the rules change. But this isn't just another reshuffling. This is a mass exodus at the Department of Justice. Think about it. Nearly 3,000 attorneys have resigned, been forced out, or quietly walked away. And it's all happening because of one key thing, the Trump administration's demands. What does this tell us about the state of our legal system? The answer is right in front of us if we're paying attention. And what comes next might shock you. Now, here's where it gets even more intense. Pam Bondi, a prominent voice in the Trump camp, just exposed the full extent of this crisis. She claims these resigning prosecutors were woke and no longer wanted to support law enforcement. But here's the twist. They were handling major cases like the fraud investigation in Minneapolis, cases that Trump supporters pretended to care about. So who's going to take over now? The answer isn't reassuring. The DOJ is filling these vacancies with anyone willing to follow orders, no matter the cost to the justice system. And that opens the door to a whole new world of problems. It doesn't stop there. As this crisis unfolds, the situation is escalating fast. The DOJ isn't just losing prosecutors, they're actively targeting Minnesota's top officials. Governor Tim Walz and Mayor Jacob Frey are now under investigation for allegedly impeding law enforcement efforts. Why? Because they dared to support their citizens' right to peacefully protest. Think about that for a second. Top government officials being investigated simply for backing the First Amendment. This isn't just a bad sign. It's the normalization of something deeply dangerous. The question is, how far will this go before we realize we've crossed a line? And here's the most disturbing part. It's not just words anymore. The actions are what really change everything. Bondi went on air, blasting these prosecutors for quitting, even claiming they were abandoning their duties. But here's the contradiction. The very prosecutors she's criticizing had the courage to push back when they saw something wrong. They didn't want to prosecute a grieving widow, nor did they want to ignore a potential federal crime. The DOJ's latest move isn't just about firing people, it's about sending a message. If you stand up for what's right, you'll be crushed. And that might be the most terrifying part of all. And now things are rapidly spiraling out of control. In just a matter of days, we've seen a staggering number of related events unfold. First, you've got the DOJ's witch hunt against Walz and Frey. Then you've got the sudden rise of new prosecutors handpicked to toe the line. Add to that the growing number of resignations and forced exits. It's a perfect storm of chaos and confusion. The question is, what happens if this continues? Will the DOJ become nothing more than a political tool, one that serves those in power at the expense of justice? And what will it mean for the rest of us? But now let's bring this closer to home. What does this mean for you, the everyday citizen? It's not just about political figures and high-profile cases. This is about the integrity of the system we all rely on. Imagine a world where the law doesn't apply equally, where justice is twisted to fit an agenda. If you felt the tension building, if this scenario feels too familiar, you're not alone. This isn't just a political battle. It's a fight for the fairness we all deserve. So I'll ask you, how far are you willing to let this go before it affects you? If this resonates with you, drop a comment and share your thoughts. Let's take a step back. This isn't just about bad decisions or a few rogue players. It's about the system itself. What's happening now is a direct result of the way power operates behind the scenes. Leverage, incentives, and spectacle are at play. The DOJ is becoming a pawn in a much larger game, one where the truth doesn't matter if it doesn't serve the right people. This is the dark side of politics, the part where power isn't just abused, it's weaponized. And it's happening right under our noses, with few asking the tough questions. The more we ignore this, the more it becomes the new normal. So what's next? There are two possible futures ahead. First, we could see this situation snowball, with the DOJ becoming a tool of political retribution, leaving justice behind. The rule of law could be reduced to a hollow concept as powerful figures pull the strings behind the scenes, or something unexpected could happen. Pushback could grow stronger, and more people may stand up for what's right, forcing the system to reckon with its own failures. One thing's for sure, the momentum is already building, and the next move is coming faster than we think. Here's the cold truth. What's happening in the DOJ isn't just a political scandal, it's a systemic failure. The integrity of our legal system is under siege, and the consequences are far-reaching. The very thing we rely on to keep power in check is slowly being corrupted. But the real question is, how much longer will we stand by and watch this happen? If we don't act, we risk losing the justice we all thought was invincible. So let's stay informed, keep pushing for transparency, and make sure this story doesn't fade away. If you want to see what happens next, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. We'll keep the analysis coming.